What's up guys, good to see you. So if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to learn how to do things like this. Now, what this is a technique called sweep picking. Sweep picking is basically the action of moving all the way across your strings while hitting a note on each string. Now, when we use our guitar pick to go across the strings, we're doing something that's called an arpeggio. And before we go any further, guys, this video is brought to you by me. So guys, if you would like to help support the channel, there is a link to my Patreon down below. Go ahead and click that, guys, so you can help me buy black coffee, so that way I have the energy to come here and make awesome videos for you and keep supplying guitar content. Back to the video. But Jake, what is an arpeggio? That's a great question, YouTube watcher. An arpeggio is a broken chord where the individual notes are played in a rising or descending sequence rather than simultaneously. So if you ever go ah ha 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 ha, that is arpeggiation. Now, if we were to do that on our guitar, it would look something like this. Arpeggiation. Now, when it comes to blazing solos, like somebody like Yngwie Malmsteen might do, something like this. That is called arpeggiation, right? That song is actually called Arpeggios from Hell because it's all arpeggios the entire time, and it's kind of a difficult song to play. So one way we could think of sweep picking is just playing a chord, any chord that you know, in an arpeggiated fashion where our pick will sweep all the way down and all the way back up my guitar strings. Like this. So what we're gonna do is kind of build some fundamentals that will help sweep picking become easier for us as time goes on. The first time I ever learned how to sweep pick was by watching a video by the guitar player from DragonForce, Herman Lee. Now we're gonna start on our 12th fret. Just like that. I recommend using a clean channel, not distortion, because although distortion will make it easier, it will also potentially cause the formation of bad habits. And that's what we want to avoid doing when we're learning a new technique. We want to practice it at 100%, right? So even if you have to go very slow, that would be better than going fast but being messy, like that. One thing that I used to tell my students all the time when I was teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai is practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, right? So when you're practicing and you have the time to dedicate to that, practice as perfectly as you can. That way when you go to performing it, you're gonna do better. Side note, studies have shown that when it comes to performing an action rather than training an action in a live scenario such as a, I don't know, cage fight or a concert, you're going to perform those techniques at 30% the ability that you do in practice. So if you're practicing and you're practicing sloppy, right, maybe at 50% capacity of your potential practice, right, you're going to perform it at 30% of that 50%, which I don't know the math on that, guys, but it's not good. So you're going to be very sloppy when you hit the stage and try to sweep pick in front of that girl you like. Don't do that. Practice slow, build up over time. So we're going to start here on the 12th fret. Now don't forget, guys, I am in D standard tuning. So D standard tuning is just one step down from E tuning. I'll play it one time in the key of A, right? But for me, I'm going to be in the key of G. So starting on the 12th fret, for you it would be the for you it would be the 10th, and I could play it here. Right, we could do it there. That way it's the same key as you, but I'm doing it in the key of G. So on the 12th fret, we're gonna start with a hammer-on. From 12 to 15. I don't wanna pick both of these. because I'm going to be spending just one note per string all the way down, right? Boom. And now, with my ring finger on my left hand, I'm going to start to bar across the 14th on the next two strings. So here's what we have so far. 12, 15, 14, 14. From here, it's just an ascension. Just like that. So from that 14th on my G string, I'm going to now use my middle finger on the 13th fret of my B string and my index finger on the 12th fret of my E string. Here's what we have so far. But we don't want to stop there, guys. We're going to add one more note on there that is going to add a little bit of extra flavor to this chord that we're playing. So from the 12, we're going to go all the way up to the 17. So let's do it again. Just like that. And now we're going to do every note that we did going up the neck and do it coming back down the neck. So coming down, 17 to 12, 13 on the B string, 14 on the G string, 14 on the D string, 15 on the A string, and back to 12 on the A string. The whole point of sweep picking is not to be doing like this, right? The alternate picking. That's not what we're doing here. We're doing hammer-ons. So we have a nice, strong, and yet gentle touch as we go all the way up and down the neck. Now, we're gonna practice this until we can do it at a consistent speed. Consistent speed, right? So that means I'm not like... That's not what we want to do here. Nice and steady through the whole thing. Just like that, right? If you want to add a little bit of fancy flair to it, you can alternate pick and kind of like walk it up and down like this. Now we know the steps to doing the sweep picking. Here's a couple of cool tricks that I learned along the way. We could walk it up and do kind of like this like a step back thing. I don't know what you would call this. If you know, tell me in the comments. So we could walk it up, we could walk it down. Another way we can use this is just these three, which adds a little bit of flavor to any solo that you have if it's in the right key. So let's say I'm just like soloing. So if you feel like there's a spot that could add from a little flutter effect, right? Adding in these three notes. And we don't even have to finish on that 17 like we said earlier. We could always go to the next fret up to 13. Or the 15. So I'll practice from this on 12 on my G string, hammering on to my 14, and then doing that little run. We could do that on the 13th fret. We could do that to the 15th. Or we could do it to the 17th. That's actually something I would practice as well. If the entire run of this is difficult for you, we could always start on the on the G string. Right? And just kind of build your way up, getting comfortable with this while you're watching TV or something. But you can't be doom scrolling because you only have two hands. Maybe if you were Elzar, things would be different, but you're not Elzar. So if you want to add some spice from that weasel, you got to do it yourself. Okay, now we've learned how to do this in the key of A because we're starting on our A string 12th fret. Don't forget, guys, I'm in a different tuning. I play in D standard 99% of the time, so I'm just doing this in D standard. I am in the key of G, right? because my strings go as such: D, G, C, F, A, D. Just like that. Your strings go like this: E, A, D, G, B, E, right? So we learned how to do this in the key of A. Now what we're gonna do is do it in the other keys as well, right? So for me, I'm in G. Now I'm gonna move up to the key of A, which I know music theory is not something a lot of guitar players are interested in. However, this should make it a little bit easier for you to learn the neck. From G, I know that I can go up G sharp, right? And then the next note after that is going to be A. So I'm gonna do the same sweeping run in A now. Then I go to my A sharp and then to my B. Now, between B and C, there is no B sharp. So the next fret up from that is going to be my C note. Now, there is a C sharp, right? So I go C sharp up to the D. Uh-oh. Guys, I can't sweep here because I'm running out of neck. I only have 22 frets. What am I to do? Well, now we've hit something called the octave, right? So, counting from my 12, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets up from my 12. The 12 is my octave of my open string. They're the same note. So that means that if this is 7 frets up from my 12, or my 19th fret, right, I can go right here to my 7th fret higher up on the neck in this lower octave and do the exact same thing. Guys, when we're doing this, sometimes these big stretches on the higher parts of your neck are going to be a little bit more difficult. That's because up here, the frets are spaced out much wider than they are here. So sometimes I'll use some of those exercises we did earlier, like this one. Let's say I want to do it in C. But that next note is a really big stretch. That's okay, guys. We can use that same method where we're only going to go up by 1 fret here. Ready? That is totally fine. We're still practicing sweep picking. Okay, we've got it, right? Also, we can practice descending and then ascending, just like that, as well as we can practice ascending and descending. Do you know what I meant? I said it backwards. Not the cleanest work I've ever done, but you get the point. Okay, so what key are we in now? This would be the key of D, right? So we're in D. Now we're gonna go up to E. And then in between E, there is, in between E and F, there is no sharp, right? So the next fret up is F. And then up to the G. And we've gone all the way through our full scale of whole notes, guys. So I hope that this video helped you learn how to sweep pick on your guitar. Keep practicing this, guys, because I'm not gonna lie to you. This is discouraging. This is difficult, okay? You're not gonna get this overnight. It's gonna take you some time. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This one took me years to get the hang of, probably like 5 years, right? You hopefully by the end of this week will be able to get through this arpeggiation with like a constant tempo, but mastering this, implementing it in the correct way, in a way that is musical and makes sense, is going to take a lot of time, guys, and a lot of people struggle with it. Don't get discouraged. Just keep practicing it. So, that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.